How long was Neil Armstrong actually on the moon? When did Europe start speaking English? Did Marco Polo really go to China? CuriosityStream is the streaming service for all things history, plus science, wildlife, and more. What's the real story behind the Mona Lisa? We've got that. What caused the collapse of Rome? We know. Where did we find mankind's earliest ancestor? Come find out. For the holidays, give the gift of curiosity with 25% off gift cards for your curious cohorts. It's holiday shopping season at curiositystream.com/gift.
Imagine consuming 31 real whole fruits and vegetables every day. More nutrients from fruits and veggies can help our bodies with energy levels, strengthening our immune system, and so much more. Balance of Nature has taken 31 real fruits and veggies and powdered them into capsules, locking in maximum nutrition. Try Balance of Nature with 35% off any Frizz preferred order, plus free shipping with promo code YES. Just go to balanceofnature.com and enter promo code YES to get 35% off. Give your body the natural boost it needs with Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com, promo code YES for 35% off.
Hi, this is Tiffany Seacard with Home Key Mortgage, and you're listening to Local Leaders, the podcast. Every business owner has a story. Let Jim Chapman tell yours.
Joining us today, we have Travis and Courtney Taylor of Faithful Tattoo Studio. So first of all, welcome to Local Leaders, the podcast.
Thank you for having us. We're excited.
Yes, today we're going to cover a wide array of all the things you folks do at Faithful Tattoo Studio. But today we want to learn a little more about y'all personally as well. So Courtney, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay. I'm from this area. I graduated from Live Oak in 2003.
The Eagles.
Yeah.
All right.
I did go to Denham, though, until the middle of ninth grade. That's whenever I transferred. So
There you go.
Yeah, I moved to Baton Rouge a couple times, and I just felt called back to Livingston. I'm, I guess, a little bit of a country girl.
Yeah, you're an LP girl.
I am. So I wanted to come back to this area. I waited, we didn't wait, but I waited till I was 30 to get married.
Yeah.
We got married about 6 years ago, and then instant family. I was blessed to have a stepdaughter. She was 6 years old at the time, and then we waited a couple years, and we had our second child, Autumn, so she's 4 years old now.
4 years old.
I know.
So yeah, that's they're fun at that age. So.
She's blessed. She's got so much personality, but the sass is strong enough. I can tell you now.
It gets worse, trust me. I got two 16-year-old twin girls right now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That is a handful.
They got a little sassiness to them. They're good kids, but boy, woo,
Yep.
they like to test my bald head sometimes. There's no doubt about it. Now, Travis, outside of tattooing, you have a few hobbies that we want to tell everybody about. One of them is motorcycles.
Yeah.
So you like there's Harley people, there's people that are anti-Harley people. What are you?
I am, I guess, whatever, two wheels and an engine.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter now.
Love it. Love it. Now, do you prefer like crotch rockets, or are you
I'm a cruiser guy.
You're a cruiser guy. Yeah. I love cruisers too.
I rode a rocket one time, and I'm not a fan of those.
Yeah. Yeah. You ever take them like on long trips? I got some friends, they'll go all the way up to Tennessee with them bikes.
No, I haven't got to do that yet, but I do want to try one time.
Because of his wife.
Yeah, because
wife and kids.
It's always because of the wife, ain't it?
It's like a couple hours, and I'm like, my butt's kind of starting to hurt.
Yeah. Right. Go to St. Francisville and back. That's as far as you
find
get.
somewhere to eat and, head back.
Yeah. So do you ride as well?
Oh, in the back.
Yeah. You're not driving one?
Not yet. Not yet. And I think if I ever do, it's probably going to be something with 3 or 4 wheels. I'm not going to be a full-on motorcycle girl. I'm not that cool. I'm just not.
I love it. And you also like to boil crawfish and peanuts.
Oh, yeah.
And you did not bring me any boiled peanuts today. How dare you, sir?
I probably got like 15 bags frozen right now that I need to get rid of. So, yeah, I'm not from here. I'm from California.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get my Cajun recipes down.
Yes.
I love the food out here. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And what part of California?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that like Central California?
No, it's southern. It's
southern. Okay.
Straight desert out there. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Cactuses and all.
Cactuses, Joshua trees, bush. I mean, you think of a desert, not the Sahara, that's what it is.
Interesting. So was it when you came down to Louisiana, was it kind of culture shock to you? Or?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'd
Way
imagine
different.
so.
Like, California and the South are just night and day. So,
yeah. Traffic, especially in those major parts of California, are unbearable. I hear. I got some friends, and they had to move to California for job related reasons, and they always tell me, they're like, man, a commute here that's like 20 minutes is like 3 hours, literally. Like 3 hours there.
Driving through LA, you better pack something, because you're not going to get to where you need to go.
Bring a snack.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you go back or back and forth, or you haven't been back in a long time?
I haven't been back in a long time. I used to go back and forth growing up.
Yeah.
Between my mom and my dad. My dad lives out here. My mom lives in Arizona now, but she lived in California her whole life. So that's why we were back and forth.
Let me ask y'all this. Tattooing is a trade, plain and simple. I look at it no different than a painter or a cabinet maker. It's something you kind of have to master, right? You have good, experienced tattoo artists, and you've got some that just kind of put a tattoo pen in their hand and call themselves a tattoo artist, right?
Yeah, you got some scratchers out there, and then you've got the pros, and I'm somewhere in the middle. I've nowhere near mastered my craft, but I'm always learning. Because if you're not learning, you're not mastering anything. Even the masters are still learning at something,
100%.
So,
and there's trends too with tattoos. Like there's things that come and go, So it's like you have to get with the times. Like you have to be adaptable. You have to learn what's cool, what's new, and it never stays the same.
Yeah, and it's interesting you bring that up. We do discuss trends a little bit, and we're going to cover. And I did want to say, I've been on your Facebook page, and folks out there listening, watching, check it out. This dude's got some artwork with him. I mean, he's being modest. I'm gonna tell you what, he's got some amazing work on his page. So we'll tell you later on how to go to that Facebook and give it a like, and I'll even link it to this video so that people can check that out, and make it easy on them. Now, take us back to the start of your tattooing for you. How did you know it was something you would enjoy and eventually kind of make a business out of it?
All right, so the little pause I had there earlier was I didn't know if I wanted to go too far back in my history, because growing up was never fun for me.
Right.
We all have rough pasts, but mine, I don't know, my mom and dad were there, but they weren't there. Mm-hmm. So we kind of had to raise ourselves. I've got 5 other siblings.
Oh, wow.
So when I got a little bit older, probably 8 or 9 years old, I always drew. I loved drawing. That was my escape from everything. So, and then, but at the right there about the same time, I started using drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. So from 8 to 25, I'd always done drugs and everything. So, but art was always a way to get out. So I always drew.
Yeah.
And then I got my first tattoo when I was 12. My cousin did it on me. Yeah. And then my dad being my dad, he put the whooping on me, and I was a rebel, outlaw. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do. Yeah. So I picked up a tattoo machine and started tattooing. And I wasn't good, but I did it. I was a scratcher, a legit scratcher, but I didn't have anybody to teach me how to do any of this stuff. So I had to learn a lot of it on my own.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube videos, doing whatever I could to basically get better at it, because I fell in love with it. It was a way to express and keep my artwork out there. So, ever since then, I've just been practicing and doing it, and I did it for money, and it was a good way to make money.
Yeah.
So I kind of picked it up from there, but the love never faded. It always stayed with me. So when I met her, she was just like, hey, let's make this a thing.
Yeah.
So
It didn't happen quite that smoothly.
It never does.
It never does.
Hey ladies, it's Pate with Idell Lane Spa and Boutique, located in Walker. We offer all things skincare, hair care, makeup, spray tan, lashes, and more. And we have a full selection of clothes. And we also do private events from birthday parties, bridal showers, and more. So stop by today and get your queen on, making every woman a queen. See you soon.
So we got married and we got together, and he's like, yeah, I'm a tattoo artist. And to be perfectly honest, I saw some of his tattoos on him, and I was like, yeah, baby, that's right. You're a tattoo artist.
Yeah, right.
very good.
And then so he did. He started tattooing on friends and family, and I was quick to realize, I was like, wow, you are really talented. Like this is something that you have a passion for, obviously, and you're obviously natural at it. So let's cultivate it. Let's see where this can go. And it has just grown.
Yeah.
And that's where we kind of are today, where it's like gotten so big where we actually had to legitimize. We had to, facilitate all the growth.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. Mm-hmm. And I want to go back a little bit to what you were just saying, because it's very important and something I would love people, and I'm sure you as well, to get out of this podcast is that you can have a sort of a checker past, maybe to say the least, and overcome that, right?
Right, absolutely.
And it's usually a woman that saves you. Quite honestly. I mean,
That
for
ain't
us
God.
men, no doubt about it.
I did 9 months in Teen Challenge rehab. I was homeless before that. I'd been homeless for a couple of years, just got out of jail.
Wow.
Yeah, it was bad. Well, I was sleeping in this guy's truck because he was homeless too, and he had a truck. I was like, shoot,
Yeah,
a roof over my head. You know?
absolutely.
And then I just started looking at myself. I was sitting there awake. It was probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Well, I got up and got out and left. I went to my dad's house, and he said, "Oh, you're ready to stop?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, you're gonna have to go to a rehab." That switch flipped, and I was like, "No, I don't need that." And he was like, "Well, yeah, you do." So I went, and when I got out, 2 weeks later, I met her. 3 months later, we were married, and 6 years after that, I own a business. So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of dedication, but it can happen. Anybody can do it. Like you said, it's a skill.
Yeah.
You develop skills over time.
Yeah.
So yeah, anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's
And it's a mindset. You just have to make up your mind that that's something that you want. You want to be sober. You want to make a better life for yourself. And that's what you did. You reached out and you achieved it.
like I said, it's hard work, but it's worth it in the end. Anybody who's willing to put up with hard work definitely deserves the route they're going.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a support system behind that, someone behind you to, not only push you, but someone behind you that
kind of redirects you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, without that, it's just kind of you. Right.
Yep.
But when you have someone that is relying on you, counting on you, you love, they love, it makes all the difference in the world. Man, shout out to you, brother.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And he said that's one of the hardest things. It wasn't quitting the drugs that was so hard. It was learning how to adult.
Yep.
It was learning how to live a life sober and without, couch surfing, without, basically being a bum and having to learn how to adult at 25, 26 years old. So.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in that situation, it's they just need some confidence with, I haven't ruined my life. Mm-hmm. I can still make an amazing life. Oh, look, I've got a talent. I've got something that I can build on. Once you build that confidence in yourself, it's a lot easier to kind of mature. Mm-hmm. And because you always have something to look forward to. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Was this something you were at first apprehensive of? And
Yes. My parents owned a small business growing up. And so I watched how hard owning a small business was. So you eat breathe, sleep the business. And so that was one of the things that I was hesitant about. Not only that, but also we're very family oriented. And so, with owning a tattoo shop, the hours aren't always great. You're working nights, you're working weekends, and so it took some time, and not necessarily convincing, but just really meditating on it and seeing if this is the direction that we wanted our life to go. But the deeper
we sat on that for a long time,
Yeah.
So we decided to legitimize, and it just took off from there again. So
because now we're able to advertise and
Yes.
put the word out, and we're
come on podcasts,
and come on
those
podcasts.
sorts of things.
It was all word of mouth. But that's where it grew. Is it was just our cousin, sisters, nephew, everybody was telling everybody, and that's where it was just kind of wow, we were growing.
You discussed that you were kind of self-taught in a lot of ways, but you
Yeah.
did do a little apprenticeship for a
Right.
while, and
Yeah.
tell me about that.
So I lived in Crescent City, California with my mom. We moved to Seattle, and then after Seattle, we moved down to Crescent City, which is the northernmost part of California, right there in the tip
Yes.
before you get to Oregon.
Yes.
And it was a little bitty town, little small town. And there was a tattoo shop there. Well, my mom worked with the husband's wife as a caregiver in a retirement home. Well, her husband owned the tattoo shop, and they kind of hooked it up. So I did a 2-year stint there.
Wow.
It was called Underground Inc. in Crescent City, California.
Good name. I like it.
Well, he was kind of like me and grew up.
Did you miss your deadline to renew your Medicaid coverage? You can still send your completed annual review form to Healthy Connections Medicaid. You may be assigned to another health plan, but you can ask to come back to First Choice within 60 days of renewed Medicaid eligibility. It's your family. It's your choice. First Choice is the right choice. Renew and choose us. Visit selecthealthofsc.com/renew to learn more.
Kind of self-taught, so yeah, I got a lot of shop exposure there, and it was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
The time we were there, so
Very good.
Yeah.
So you were really focusing down, and tattoo artists are no different than anybody else in that they had. It's kind of like a school almost when you're under the tutelage of someone else, I
Right.
guess you could say, and they're showing you things that maybe you would learn no other way.
yeah. And I went through a traditional apprenticeship, and it was hard because traditional apprenticeships, they make you want it. They put you through the ringer to make sure that's what you want to do, because you're putting something on somebody permanently.
Yes.
That's what these scratchers don't understand. They're just like, oh, I'm gonna practice on people. I
Yeah.
did it too. I'm not faulting anybody, but
Sure.
you really shouldn't do that. Practice on people. They've made a way where you're not tattooing on fruit anymore.
Yeah.
You can get the practice skins and practice without hurting people, because that's what you're doing. You're hurting people
Yes.
when you put those kind of tattoos on people. So
Especially with sanitation
Yeah,
and everything
sanitation.
too. You have to learn.
there's a lot.
Yeah.
But, I've been there. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, I did it right the first time, because I didn't. I went through a good 10 years of hurting people before I actually got my apprenticeship.
Yes.
So when I got my apprenticeship, it was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
I've been doing this wrong. And I had to forget everything I knew about tattooing and relearn a lot of stuff.
Which
So-
is hard to do because you get in
man.
habits just
Yeah.
like anything else. And it's like, I got to retrain myself. It's
Yep.
kind of like a golfer that learns the wrong golf swing. And I mean, try fixing that. Trust me, it's not
I know.
easy.
I play golf, so
Yeah,
it's really
it's
hard.
not easy. So very good. I want to quote your why statement. In your questionnaire, I asked you why, kind of why you do this. You said tattooing is your passion, and as a bonus, it brings people joy into their lives.
It really does.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's a lot of people, these tattoos are personal to them. I mean, let's face it, they're going to be on there a while. And give me an example of some of the more personal tattoos you've done. BJ Pawn and Gun in Denham Springs wants to buy your unwanted gold jewelry, gold coins, and gold bullion. With 30 years of experience operating in the Livingston Parish area, BJ Pawn wants to be your source when selling your gold. So stop by BJ Pawn today for a no-obligation offer. BJ Pawn, a proud sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast.
I've done a lot of memorial tattoos, and man, there's just so many. I did one tattoo on this lady, and she had wanted this tattoo for years and years and years. Mm-hmm. And when she finally got it and she saw how it looked on her body, she just started bawling.
Wow.
Like crying.
That's how much it meant to her.
That's how much it meant to her. And I had no idea because it wasn't a memorial piece or anything, but it really meant that much to her.
Yeah.
So that's the one that really stuck with me the most. And there's a lot of them that get memorial tattoos and just stuff that just reminds them of a better time, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, and the fact that, you know, what you did brought out that kind of emotion in that person, you know, has got to be a good feeling for you. That
it is a good feeling. And when you can put something on somebody permanently, mm-hmm. because it costs a lot of money to have it removed and it hurts.
Yeah.
And they love it.
Yeah.
You know you've done something right.
Yes.
So it is a really good feeling knowing that you can bring that much joy to somebody, you know, besides your kids or your family. It's a complete stranger.
Yeah.
So it is really rewarding.
Yeah, and I can see your passion for it. Yeah. And you know, I'm a firm believer in there are some people in life and you know, you go through struggles, right? We all do. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, but there's some people in life, they end up right where they should be. Right. And for me, in the little bit I've talked to you already, I feel like you're right where you should be in life. You know, certain people, I believe that people are put on this earth and are given gifts by God for certain things, and this is your gift, man, and that's awesome. You're living your dream, right?
Thank you.
Miss Courtney, I'm going to turn to you for a second. Now let's talk about the name Faithful Tattoo Studio. Maybe not the first thing that people think of when they think of tattoo studios is faith, right? But you are both very strong in your faith, and kind of tell me how you came up with the name.
Honestly, Travis came up with the name.
Okay.
You know, like we've been involved in church for a while, you know, and everything like that. And we knew that was, if we were to ever open up a tattoo, we wanted that to be a big part of our culture, you know.
Yeah.
But I think what we love about it is we create that comfortable environment. Maybe people that aren't necessarily prone to getting tattoos feel comfortable coming to our shop because it is more of a laid-back atmosphere. I just think that, you know, everything that we've worked for and everything that's, you know, coming together, it just, you can feel it whenever you walk through our doors. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it.
So back when I was in my kitchen, we lived in a trailer on the same road we live in now. So I was tattooing in my kitchen, and we would have people say that they loved the atmosphere of my kitchen.
Yeah.
Because she'd be cooking. It was always at night. She'd be cooking, so we'd feed people and just...
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
gumbo, chili, whatever. You want a ball?
We made them feel welcome. You know, you don't get that from a lot of tattoo shops.
Yeah.
So we made them feel welcome. Even though it was in my kitchen, they would prefer to come to me than go to some extreme tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm just saying that when you think of a tattoo shop, you think of like bikers and stuff like that.
Right.
Walking in, there's art all over the walls, and that's not a bad thing because if that's what you're into, hey, that's what you're into.
Yeah.
But the people that we normally get come into my house, and I've always said that I want to bring that feeling back to my shop.
Yes.
I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, I want something faith-based.
Yes.
So it just came to me one day.
Faithful Tattoo
Studios.
Yeah.
So, and it has more than one meaning. It's not just faithful as in Christianity, but faithful as in we're going to take care of you. You know, I want you just
have faith in us.
Right.
Yes.
You know, have faith in God and also have faith that I'm not going to screw your body up.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Well, and I'll tell you your logo is amazing.
Thank you.
You know, you've got the praying hands. You've got the tattoo in that neat little font. It'd be hard to criticize it. It's just, it seems perfect to me with your message, who you are, and what you're aiming to accomplish as well.
And he designed it. That was his own design too. So
it's not perfect, but you know, when you think of us, we don't want you to think, oh, that's just another tattoo studio, or that's just another tattoo shop. We don't want to be just another tattoo shop. We want to go above and beyond. Like, we want to get out in the community and start helping the community.
Yes.
Like, we want to do stuff like that, not just because it's the thing to do, but you know, everybody needs help. So
yes.
I want to start doing that. Now that I'll have more time, I'll be able to start doing that.
That's a beautiful thing.
So,
you know, giving back is important.
Right.
And something that it took me many years in life to realize how, you know, true leaders really give back. That's kind of the difference. It's not always about being number one. You want to be number one in everything you do. But giving back is kind of what separates leaders from not leaders, I guess you could say, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's good. You've learned that a lot earlier in life than I did, for sure.
I mean, in today's society, with the way the world is going, excuse me, but there's no sense of community anymore.
Yeah.
You know, there's no sense of pride in your community. There's no sense of helping each other out anymore. It's every man for himself.
Yes.
Like, who's going to be the one to start stopping that?
That's right.
You know,
like,
we all need to band together and realize that, hey, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
We all got one life to live.
Yeah.
And after that is eternity. What do you want to do with your eternity?
Right.
You know, like, how are you going to be sitting on Judgment Day?
100%.
So, you know, that's what I believe, that we need to come back to a community sense.
Yes.
And it's really hard to bring it back, but we can bring it back if everybody helps and joins in together. So.
Yeah, 100%. I believe that as well. So, Travis, what's the longest you've ever done in one sitting on a tattoo?
18 hours straight.
That's amazing. And they call that what, a tap out?
Tap out. I do not do tap outs. I don't do tap outs. I'm sorry.
18.
Don't call me for a tap out, please. Not trying to be rude. Just trying to be real.
He was a little upset that day. I wasn't in the picture yet.
And for those that may not be familiar with what that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but basically it's a flat fee and you can get whatever you want and until you can't take it no more. And then, and apparently you had someone that was like a cyborg or something.
Superman, dude. That would not stop. And he paid $150 for 18 hours worth of work. Not doing that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But pretty awesome that you lasted that long standing straight up and tattooing. So great job there. Now, although you're not new to the tattoo industry, you both are new to owning your own business and having just opened in August of this year. Yes. So you're relatively new to this whole business process, even though it was kind of a side hustle for a while. Courtney, how smooth was the process as far as opening the tattoo studio? And then Travis, how valuable has this lady been to your business from the aspect of business?
No. Well, if I lost her, the business would not be running smoothly at all. So,
it'd be totally illegal.
We'd be back in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Fit Blends of Denham Springs can help you with everything from meal prep to supplements. I love it that they serve breakfast all day in addition to the best ultra healthy wraps you can really get anywhere in Livingston Parish. They are home of the $5 Smoothie Friday and are an amazing sponsor of Local Leaders, the podcast. Fit Blends Denham Springs, fast, fit food for you.
He'd be back in the kitchen.
She is the brains, the backing. She is everything to this business. I am just the art.
Right.
So she does everything behind the scenes.
So Miss Behind the Scenes, how hard was it? You know, when I think about it, I think a lot of red tape.
Yeah, and that was like, for those of you that don't know, we actually converted our mother-in-law suite into our tattoo studio. It's fully licensed.
Great idea.
Yeah, and especially not a lot of overhead, just starting out. But yeah, we had to get in front of the parish council and get approval to, have a tattoo shop on residential property. We had to go through sanitation, fire marshal. There is a lot of ins and outs, It was, to be completely honest, it was easier than what I thought it would be. But it was still a lot of legwork. And so, and there's still a lot of learning.
Yeah.
We're still learning about taxes and, accounting and, all that. But I think it's just, a learning curve for anybody that's opening up a new business. And so that's what he's the dreamer. Like we complement each other very well because I say that he's the gas and I'm the brakes.
Oh, I like that.
But it's like, he's like, go, go, go. Like, he wants to open up a huge tattoo shop and have all these tattoo artists under us. And I'm like, can I just learn QuickBooks first?
Yeah. We're opening up location number 2.
Yeah. And I'm just like, hold up. Like, let's work with what we have right now. But it works out well because he pushes me out of my comfort zone and he's reaching for the stars. And it works well for us because, like I said, we're growing. And then in the same breath, we're learning. And so it's just
very good.
Going great.
Very good. Very good. Now, you mentioned that it's a converted mother-in-law suite that you have there, and you had mentioned earlier that people really enjoy, even when you were doing it in the kitchen, the atmosphere that you had. I think that's one of the biggest things that separates you now in that mother-in-law suite is that you have a different atmosphere. It's I would imagine, a more comfortable atmosphere than you may run into at another tattoo shop. Yeah. All of that being said, the importance of that is something that you really can't miss because I would imagine some people go in there and they're nervous. I mean, everybody that goes in there, I would imagine some of them have never had a tattoo, or maybe they've had one and it was 20 years ago and they were drunk and they don't remember it, whatever it was. How important is that atmosphere, do you think?
I would say
Imagine consuming 31 real whole fruits and vegetables every day. More nutrients from fruits and veggies can help our bodies with energy levels, strengthening our immune system, and so much more. Balance of Nature has taken 31 real fruits and veggies and powdered them into capsules, locking in maximum nutrition. Try Balance of Nature with 35% off any Frizz preferred order, plus free shipping with promo code YES. Just go to balanceofnature.com and enter promo code YES to get 35% off. Give your body the natural boost it needs with Balance of Nature. Go to balanceofnature.com, promo code YES for 35% off.
It's a holiday story. It's a family story. It's a story of thousands of twinkling lights and countless memories. A story of crackling fireplaces and candlelight Christmas evenings, where the sounds of sleigh bells and carols echo all around. It's a story of peace and togetherness, of glittering ornaments, fragrant wreaths, and wide-eyed wonder. It's the enchanting story of a beloved tradition at America's largest home, with 250 magnificently decorated rooms, each with its own stories to tell. But all this can't begin to tell the full story of Christmas at Biltmore. Come walk in the footsteps of the Vanderbilt family and immerse yourself in a winter wonderland of endless holiday delights. Because as wondrous as the story of Christmas at Biltmore may be, it can never be complete without you. Plan your stay at Biltmore.com.
I don't want to say it's everything, but it really is, because if you don't have a good atmosphere and you don't have a good attitude about it, yeah, they'll come to you, but they don't want to come back.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of returning customers, people
that's a good sign.
They keep coming back. They turn 18 and, each month they're getting a new tattoo. Like, wait, you got to save some skin,
Yeah, so, I have clients that are like, hey, I got my 15-year-old daughter and
wow.
They feel comfortable enough to say that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't tattoo on minors.
Yeah.
No, it's like when she turns 18, yeah, come on, but
yeah.
But they're comfortable with us. All of our clients inevitably end up becoming our friends.
It's true.
And it's awesome.
We have so many friends that we have made. And that's honestly, I almost feel like they're friends, but they're also fans.
Yeah.
And that's like what's been really cool is just the outpouring of people like on social media. Like
yes.
they just support us, and it just warms our heart because it makes us feel like we're doing something right.
You are doing something right. And I'll tell you, I looked on, obviously I've been all over your Facebook, and I do see that. I see people interacting with your post. I see people sharing your post. Mm-hmm. All of those things, so important for new businesses especially, is exposure, whether it's through a podcast, whether it's through people who have had experiences with you. That's why Google reviews and Facebook reviews are so important. There's so much weight placed on that stuff. Correct. So when this thing drops and all y'all are listening, my following, y'all's following, let's everybody share this thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And let people know about how great y'all are at what you do. The business. It's funny that you called him the gas and you the brakes. That is every episode I hear something that is like a really neat ism of some sort. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Gas and brake. I'm using that one. Love it. So Travis, in regard to tattoos, and you brought this up earlier, they can be kind of faddish sometimes, maybe for lack of a better term, like clothes. What is a good example of a tattoo you would consider kind of like, I don't want to use the term played out, but faddish that maybe you're not a huge fan of doing? Or you love them all?
I enjoy doing tattoos. There are some that I don't particularly enjoy to do.
Yeah.
He's trying to speak careful. You can notice he's trying not to step on any toes.
Well, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but when I think of it from a guy that doesn't do I think of like Pamela Anderson when she got the barbed wire, right?
Right.
Awesome tattoo. But so many people did it after that. To me, it kind of lost its luster a little bit.
Right.
His is tribal.
Yeah. Tribal.
Like traditional tribal. He's not a big
black tribal. I'm not a big fan of that. Sunflowers.
Sunflower.
I love the way they look, but I'm not a big fan of doing sunflowers.
Yeah.
I have a particular style of sunflower that I do when I do tattoo sunflower, and everybody wants a sunflower.
Really?
Everybody.
I would have never guessed that. No kidding.
My wife got a sunflower.
I'm so offended right now.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry. I will do sunflowers, and I do enjoy doing them. But
with a smile on his face, he'll do a sunflower.
There's so many of them that I just got burnt out on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. Now, do you have a favorite maybe tattoo? Something that when people come in and they want that, you're like, oh, I'm really good at doing these.
American Traditional. I love the simplicity of American Traditional. There's only 3 colors you use, big, bold lines, so you know it's going to be there 50 years from now.
Yes.
I love American Traditional tattoos.
What I want.
That's my favorite
I think I
style.
want American Traditional. Yeah. That would fit my personality for sure.
And it's timeless.
And
it's
timeless.
It's very timeless. Yep. So
that's it. That's what I'm getting.
Done deal.
Send me some options.
All right.
All right. So Travis, I'm going to hit you with a few questions like we talked about earlier that people reached out to us and wanted us to ask you. So here's the first one. Are tattoos extremely painful?
I guess it depends on what part of the body you get it on.
Yeah. So the area of the body makes a difference. What's the most, probably the area of the body that hurts the worst, maybe would be a good term?
The head.
Yeah.
The head, I guess.
That's where I want mine. No. Just kidding.
The head, the lower abdomen.
Ribs.
Yeah.
Ribs.
Ribs, really?
The ribs.
That's interesting.
I think the only tattoo that I've ever seen somebody tap out on in our shop was a rib tattoo.
Yep.
A sweet little girl. And, he started the tattoo and he was not able to finish it. It ended up looking like a little tiny candy cane.
Oh, there you go.
And she tapped out.
I tried to talk her out of it. I did.
Yeah.
I tried to talk her
numbing
out
cream.
of it. Everything. I tried doing everything, and she was adamant about it. I should have shut it down.
Yeah.
Like I had originally planned, but she was adamant about it, that she could take the pain. And
Funny thing is she was not upset at all. I was more upset that she didn't get the tattoo, and she permanently has a little baby candy cane on her ribs. She got the tattoo somewhere else, and since then she's come and got another tattoo.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like she's, she was a trooper about it.
I told her that if she ever got it to where she can handle the pain, I would cover that up for free. So
oh, cool. Yeah. Now, what would you say is the area of the body where it's, less painful than maybe any other part of the body? If someone says, where can I get it where it's going to hurt the least?
The least, I would say probably back of the arm. Right here. So
top of the arm too. That one.
Those are pretty tolerable.
Pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah. So
to answer your first question, though, it really depends on the person and the location.
It really does.
And I would imagine the tattoo as well.
Yeah, that's not a fair question, which one hurts. I guess if I had to pinpoint, the worst pain would be the head and the ribs. The least would probably be the arm. Everything else is in between, so it's not really...
But what really hurts for one person doesn't hurt at all for the other.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it definitely is open for interpretation.
For huge thigh pieces. Don't even flinch. I got a leg tattoo. No, ma'am.
Yeah, you were jumping.
I could not. I'm going to, full disclosure, I don't drink whiskey. And I had to drink whiskey to get through that tattoo.
There you go.
Yep. Like, it was that bad.
Wow. So let me ask you, on that note, what would you say is the most popular spot to get it in? I know there's a wide array, but what do you get a lot of requests for as far as locations of tattoos? Stephanie Berthelot and the crew at SR Enterprise can handle it all, from sheetrock to texture to paint. Give Stephanie a call at 504-432-9284. SR Enterprise, where they spread the paint and you spread the word.
With men, normally it's right here on the forearm.
Yeah.
That's a very popular spot. With women, it's either the wrist or the back shoulder. So
I can see that. A back shoulder with women.
Right.
There's a lot with those, and I know like the lower, almost like the instep of the foot or whatever.
Right.
A lot of people get them there.
I've tattooed the heel before.
The heel.
Yeah, you can see it on my Instagram. It's interesting. It's a little dog, and it says Chungus under it.
There you go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's cute.
Pretty awesome.
That's the same girl that got the rib piece.
Okay.
And I tattooed her heel, and she sat through it perfectly.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that one is pretty bad because I've tattooed my the top of my ankle.
Yeah.
And it hurt really bad.
Yeah. Wow.
So it just depends on the person.
I guess
it really does.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are tattoos permanent?
No.
You can remove them.
You can have them removed.
Yeah, so because I think a lot of people's apprehension is, well, if I say 22 now, and one day I'll be 52, and what if I don't like this tattoo anymore? Well, it's not permanent. There are ways to remove it, although nobody ever wants their tattoo removed. I mean, things happen in life, and people. So don't let it stop you. Is I guess my point on that. It may kind of suck to get it removed, but you can get it removed. Yeah.
And I'm finding out that it's not cheap, but it's not expensive either to have the removal done.
Yeah.
And later on in our career, we're going to try to get tattoo remoul surgery done in the shop. So laser removal surgery in the shop. I don't know how to go about doing that right now, and but we're going to think about that later. That's another project we're going to be working on.
Excellent. And there's also certain parts of the body where it will wear off. Like people sometimes want to get finger tattoos. Finger tattoos, they do fade over time.
Yeah.
And then that's like we do give a little disclaimer. If you do get a finger tattoo, we don't do touch-ups on them because they will fade.
People wash their hands and
it's
stuff
constant.
more than any other.
Yeah. And then the side of the
body.
foot, too. The side of the foot, a lot of times it will rub and those will go away. But, I mean, hey, if you want to do
great information.
More power to you. Yeah.
Can you touch up or change other people's tattoos?
That's kind of a taboo in the art industry, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that.
And it depends on the circumstance.
It really does.
Yeah.
If somebody's just artist shopping,
yeah.
and someone did a good tattoo and it's been 10 years since they had it touched up and that guy's still there, like, you should go see that guy to touch up his work.
Yeah. But say they're from California. They moved down here, and I mean, they're not going back to California to get it done. Right. You're okay with helping out in that situation. So, it's obvious. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's obvious y'all put a lot of stock into the atmosphere of where you're at. And how important is customer service in your business, and how much emphasis do y'all place on customer service?
It's number one.
Yeah.
That's number one in my shop is customer service. I'm tired of going to McDonald's, them getting my order wrong, and them getting mad at me for trying to get it back. And I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
so.
I said no pickles.
Right, exactly. And they're like, I guess we'll change it.
Yes.
You messed my order up, man.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Anyways, customer service is very, very, very important. It's more important over the artwork. It's more important than everything, because without good customer service, nobody's going to like you. Nobody's going to want to keep coming back. And once they find you and they're all like, oh, you have poor customer service, like, yeah, they're going to use you that one time, but they're not coming back.
Right.
So
one of my friends, she actually, she's an entrepreneur too, and she said that she had a conversation with her sister, which made a lot of sense. And she said that her sister will drive 40 minutes out of the way to get her nails done, passing up several nail places on the way, just because where she goes to get her nails done, they know her name.
Yes.
And that's the thing. If you make somebody feel special, if you make them feel like you appreciate them, it's not easy to earn money. That's people's hard-earned money. And the fact that they want to come and spend it on a tattoo with us, that's flattering. That's, very, we appreciate it so much. The least we could do is give you a good experience. Right. And so that's what we try to do, is just make sure that you know that we value you and your time, and come and see us.
Yeah, and I think it's a big separator between y'all and other people is the fact that you put so much emphasis on that customer service. And I'm not saying that there's not other places that do as well, but definitely a big separator with you guys that I noticed right off the bat. So very important. Now, as we mentioned earlier, you opened in August of this year. And Travis, you've really been kind of limited as to the time you could dedicate to your art, no pun intended. But you got a big announcement. William Waldrop of TWFG Insurance in Denham Springs can service all of your insurance needs. Offering auto, life, health, and commercial insurance, William Waldrop of TWFG Insurance is a proud supporter of Local Leaders, the podcast.
Yeah, so I am going to do this full time.
Making that leap.
Yeah. Well, actually, the podcast that we watched last night.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Steve Harvey jump.
Yes.
And we watched it.
Yes. That's an amazing.
Yeah.
Man, like,
it's time to jump.
Yeah.
So I already put my 2 weeks in at my job, and then watching that last night. So, yep, I think I'm ready to do this full time, man. I love it so much. That's where I feel myself. Is in my shop. So, I'm not going to work a dead-end job where I can't even grow in the ladder. So,
well, you know what? We were talking about this off camera, but some people are just kind of meant to be certain places, and I feel a strong deal with you where this is kind of where you should be,
right?
And it's a tough thing. I've been there. I had this as a side hustle for a long time before I said, I'm going to go ahead and do this full time. It's scary. It's nerve wracking, because you have responsibility, for other things. But if you don't do it, and
regret.
you're made to, you always have that there. And let me tell you, if it makes you feel any better here, when I did it, I have never been busier in my life, and I have the
see that.
support
We
of
see that
so
on
many,
Facebook.
including you guys. And,
goodness.
I know you're going to be the same way. And shout out to you, man. I know that takes a lot of nerve personally, and shout out to you for supporting that. Very important. I'm sure that was a discussion, right, between both of you.
Many discussions.
And yeah, exactly.
And the timeline kept changing. It was like, I'm going to do it in 5 years. 2 years. 1 year, and then now it's pretty much after Christmas.
Yeah, back to work on Monday.
Yeah, just keep shortening.
Monday is like he hates going to work on Mondays now, and it's like.
Now, don't get me wrong. I like my job I have now. Welding is that's
great trade.
It's a
great trade.
Yeah, absolutely. And people just dive headfirst into welding.
Yes.
Not me so much. I did it as a job. It is a job. I took pride in my job.
Yes.
But tattooing is not a job for me.
Right.
And I love doing it. And it's going to be a lot of headache and rigmarole, but in the end, it's worth it. That's worth the headache.
Love it. Now, Courtney, how important has social media played on kind of the growth of your business?
It's been huge because initially we were, like I said, mostly word of mouth. And that's one of the things that I personally try to take the time to do is to have a very big social media presence and interact with people. I think people like it. Yeah. I think that
they do too. And what you do is very visual.
Yeah.
And the best way to show off visual things is to put them on social media where people can actually click on that picture and see some of the beautiful work you do. Yeah. One of the interesting things about this podcast, and something you'll notice when it airs, is that we're going to have your artwork pop up during the episode, kind of like when you're watching the news, where we'll be talking about tattoos, and one of your tattoos is going to pop up, and it'll be pretty neat. But that way people can see that visual even before they go to your Facebook and check it out.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that'll be really nice. Now, I also want to mention, because it's kind of close to holiday time, and it's getting to look a lot like Christmas and all that stuff. I won't sing it for you, but you get the gist. Y'all offer gift certificates.
We do.
Yeah.
That was something people ask us pretty frequently. They're like, well, do you do gift cards? Like, do I prepay? And so we had so many people asking for it. So we went ahead and just got gift certificates. We're like, why not? You can have a cool little envelope with a cool little certificate with our address and where to find us. And then it just kind of puts something in people's hands instead of being like, hey, I bought you a tattoo. They can actually open it, and then they have that fun little surprise.
And I think it's a wonderful idea. I mean, I think everybody in business should have a gift certificate of some point, because it may be something that person feels like they can't afford, but maybe their best friend gives them, and says, hey, go get your tattoo did.
Not to mention, I mean, like we said, you can get rid of a tattoo if you don't want it, but it lasts a lifetime. Like, you're literally giving somebody a gift that will last a lifetime. That's right. So especially if it's sentimental, I think that is a really cool gift to give somebody.
It's the gift that keeps on giving all year round.
Yes,
as they say on Christmas Vacation. That's my first quote of Christmas Vacation this year. There'll be many more to come. So we talked about the gift certificates and all that stuff, and I thought, I do this on every show, but I thought it'd be fun to do some fun facts on you folks outside of just tattoos. Y'all are some pretty funny people. And some of these answers may surprise you. Dane Arnold with iTrade Exchange has been enabling small business in the Livingston Parish area to save cash through his network of over 300 participating Livingston Parish businesses. Saving cash by trading services with other exchange members is what iTrade Exchange is all about. For more information, contact Dane Arnold at 225-205-3640. or visit iTradeExchange.biz. I asked my first question was, what job did you want when you were 12 years old? And Courtney said an astronomer. Mm-hmm. So you liked the stars and the moon?
I did. I don't know. I always had a fascination. And then my mom actually, I don't remember exactly how old I was, maybe 11 or 12 years old. She actually bought me a star. You know how they have the star registry?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I had it on my wall, and it gave you coordinates of, where your star was. And there was a Courtney Pierce star out there in the universe.
I can't believe I don't don't have a star.
I know.
I need to look that up. I should Google that. Travis, you said an engineer.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Architect, engineer.
Yeah.
Man, when I was younger, I had notebooks that I would draw and design houses in.
Yeah.
Like big,
that's
huge
cool.
houses.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome.
engineer, because I had this design for a wingsuit, and
it's not too late. I can get in with you on a wingsuit. That sounds interesting. We'll partner up on that one.
Some guy in Russia or Germany, I think it was Germany, did the exact same thing.
Did he really?
I swear to God.
Stole your idea.
Someone always does it, and then you're like, I could have been a millionaire.
It's that guy that jumps out of the plane with the winged backpack
Yeah.
on.
Oh, I seen it.
Yeah. So he took my idea.
Doggone it. And we can't get no royalties off of them. That's the bad thing. All right. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Courtney said super fast cleaning ability.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yes. That would be a great superpower.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And Travis said the Flash. So you also want to be super fast.
I love the Flash.
Yeah, I do too. One of my favorites all time. Now, if you could travel anywhere in the world, Courtney said Italy. That's a great choice.
Great
beautiful
food,
place. But
beautiful.
I agree with you. And this is, if I could pick a place anywhere in the world, it would be Scotland here as well. Wow.
Oh, man. Well,
couldn't imagine.
My grandmother's Scottish, and my grandfather was Scottish.
Yeah.
And I've got a big percentage of Scottish in me, so I've always wanted to go see the layout of
Motherland.
Yeah.
The motherland. Yes. So, you fit right in, man. And it's just a beautiful country.
Yeah. It's
awesome. Wow. I do want to mention your tagline. We were talking about a tagline. I love this. I'm like, I have to say this. So I said, Courtney, what's your tagline? And she says, we don't really have one, but how about you pick it and we stick it? Love that one. Love it. Love it. Did y'all have fun today?
We had a great time.
This is awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Now, folks, go to their Facebook page and give them a like. Check out their website for more information to stay updated on all things tattoo, faithfultattoostudio.com. And we're going to link all of that, as I said earlier, to the description of this episode. So you can just scroll down, look at the description, and those links will be there for all of that. Now, if somebody heard this and they said, I'm going to get a tattoo tomorrow, what would they do to get in touch with you?
They can text, they can call, they can Instagram, they can email.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I'm pretty responsive, and that's what I try to be Johnny on the spot with the response. I will say, with him currently only working on the weekends, we're booked up about a month out right now, but we will try to get you in just as soon as we can, and then once he goes full time, we'll have that extra availability.
Yes.
And I'm going to be a little slave driver, and if we can fit you in, you're going to get in. So.
There you go.
Y'all, if you need one during the middle of the week, you let me know. Like I said, my clients are number one, and I will always try to appease them. So
100%. And I do want to mention that one of the things that I asked in the questionnaire I sent you guys was, how did you kind of know it was time to go full time, let's say? And Travis made the comment, he just didn't feel right telling people you're going to have to wait X amount of time in order to get it, because when he saw that coming, when it was getting pushed out too far, you were basically like, hey, either I got to, I pretty much got to do this full time because I am so busy that I'm having to delay. It just didn't sit right.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And like I said, my clients are number one in my book, so.
Love
don't
it,
want to turn people away.
No. Yeah, I believe that 100%. So I think y'all are great. We're going to send y'all all kinds of business around here. So thank you for coming on the show, both of you.
Absolutely.
We were honored.
Oh,
yes.
It was all our honor. Absolutely. I want to thank everyone out there for viewing and listening to Local Leaders, a podcast. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank our sponsors, Trisha Johnston Realtor, BJ Pawn, Fit Blends, Denham Springs, Black Sheep Creative, SR Enterprise Painting, William Waldrop of TWFG Insurance, Adele Lane Spa and Boutique, Fit Body Boot Camp. We could not do any of this without all of you. And if you'd like info on sponsoring the show or appearing on the show, please reach out to me at jim@localleadersthepodcast.com. And I do want to mention y'all are on trade, as am I. So I Trade Exchange, Moxie.
Yes.
If you choose to pay with any of that, both of us accept that.
Yep.
So check that out. Until next time, I am Jim Chapman, reminding you, love your community, support local business, and keep leading. Thank you very much. Black Sheep Creative understands the importance of digital marketing and your return on your investment. It's their aim to provide professional web and graphic design services at a price point that smaller businesses and startups can afford. Get in touch with them on the web at blacksheepcreative.com.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.